How to know early if a relationship has structural integrity. Hello, I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller, and there's a painful realization many people come to later in life, and I should know. You can ask all the right questions, you can get all the right answers, and still invest in something structurally unsound. Because the real problem isn't vocabulary, it's discernment under emotional activation. And by the time most of the obvious green flags or red flags become visible, you're already attached. So the real question becomes, what can you detect early before investment clouds judgment? So what can we discern about structural integrity in the first 90 days? Words are cheap, patterns are not. Early in dating, most people know the right language, know how to describe emotional availability, know how to articulate commitment, often believe their own self-description. But self-description is not self-regulation. So stop screening primarily for answers. Start screening for patterns. Patterns reveal capacity. Capacity predicts durability. What you can actually detect early. You don't need 6 months. You need awareness. Here's what shows up fast. 1. Micro-consistency. Within the first 3 to 6 interactions, you can observe, do they text when they say they will? Do they follow through on small plans? Do they show up on time? Does their enthusiasm spike and crash? Consistency does not require depth to observe. It requires pattern tracking. Volatility early rarely stabilizes later. 2. How they handle mild discomfort. You don't need a major conflict, just express something slightly inconvenient. I prefer advance notice. I'm not comfortable with last-minute cancellations. That doesn't work for me. Then watch. Do they adjust and stay warm, get subtly defensive, withdraw slightly, agree verbally, but behavior doesn't change? Durable partners tolerate friction without destabilizing. Fragile ones reveal themselves quickly. 3. How they handle no. This is one of the fastest diagnostic tools. Say no to something small, a time, a suggestion, a preference. Healthy people remain stable. Unhealthy patterns reveal reduced warmth, guilt undertones, subtle punishment, emotional withdrawal. Entitlement shows up early, if you look. 4. Pace of escalation. Fast bonding feels intoxicating, but over-intensity in the first few weeks often signals anxious attachment, avoidant intensity cycles, novelty-driven dopamine chasing, or future faking. Healthy relationships deepen steadily. They don't combust. Durability prefers pacing over fireworks. 5. Your nervous system. This bypasses intellectual vetting. After spending time with them, do you feel calm, clear, grounded, or slightly unsettled, preoccupied, activated? Activation often masquerades as chemistry. Calmness often feels less dramatic, but it's predictive. Intensity is not the same thing as integrity. Here's the danger. Once you've slept together, you've met friends, you've imagined a future, you've invested emotionally, your brain begins protecting the investment. At that point, red flags become context. Volatility becomes complexity. Inconsistency becomes stress. Vetting after attachment is biased, so maturity isn't asking better questions. It's enforcing early thresholds. For example, if I experience repeated hot-cold shifts in the first 8 weeks, I disengage. Not dramatically, not angrily, structurally. You decide your tolerance before attachment negotiates it downward. Here's the brutally honest test. If nothing about this person changed, if this exact dynamic stayed the same for years, would you feel secure investing? Not their potential, not who they could become, not who they are under ideal circumstances. Today's pattern, that answer is usually honest. In the first 90 days, you are not evaluating destiny. You are evaluating capacity. Look for consistency, emotional regulation, respect for boundaries, repair after minor friction, gradual deepening, nervous system stability. Chemistry without those is gambling. Chemistry with those is partnership. You can't eliminate risk in love, but you can eliminate blindness. The problem isn't that people don't see red flags, it's that they negotiate with them. Maturity is not about being cynical, it's about slower pacing, lower tolerance for volatility, less belief in potential, more respect for pattern. Structural integrity reveals itself early, if you're willing to watch behavior more than you listen to promises. Because in relationships, patterns don't lie, we just sometimes hope they will.